The feeling as a kid when your parents promise you that they will take you to an amusement park, but instead they take you to that time zone section inside the mall. Yeah, that is thug life for me. Guys, I was excited for this film, and not just casually interested excited. I am talking soul stirring and frame by frame breakdown excited. Mani Ratnam and Kamal Hassan reuniting after Nayakan? That's not just cinema for cinephiles and fans. It's as good as a cultural event. I was expecting power-packed storytelling, layered characters, some soul-crushing moral dilemmas, and acting performances that could slap us across the face. Except I think what I got was a script written on a napkin. Not that I have anything against napkin guys, because J.K. Rowling also conceptualized Harry Potter in a napkin. But here is what I imagined this movie would be. A gangster film with layers, political commentary, emotional heft, and Mani Ratnam's signature interpersonal dynamics. That is what he's known for. He is known for giving us great dramas. And here is what I got. Gangster adopts kid. Kid grows up, gang members gossip, father-son fight, plot twist, bloodbath, misunderstanding solved, dad retires, roll credits. In my trailer reaction, I said, and I quote, "There's more than meets the eye." Well, clearly the joke's on me because thug life is exactly what meets the eye. There is no beneath the surface. There is no subtext. What you see in the trailer is exactly what you get. There is no mystery. There is no moment where you would say that, oh, I did not see that coming. You saw it coming. You felt it coming. It showed up early and waved at you. Yes, through the trailer. God, I sound so frustrated. Sorry guys, I really am. Because here's where it stinks, to me personally. Mani Ratnam has given us some of the finest dialogues and character arcs in Indian cinema. You don't expect lazy exposition or soulless transitions from him. And yet Thug Life felt like it was written during a bad Zoom call. That's what it felt like. There is no emotional payoff. There is no tension. The relationships are so shallow that when conflict arises, you don't care who wins. You are just watching out of habit, hoping that some moment might startle you. And I kept asking to myself while watching this film, is this the same man who adapted Ponniyin Selvan? Who juggled like 10 plus characters with emotional arcs and depths where I could really feel for each and every character? And he couldn't do the same in this film? This is what frustrated me. This is why it is still frustrating me right now while I'm recording. Now let's talk action. I mean, Thug Life is heavily dependent on action. And I do not mind a gangster film which has a lot of action. It's fine, but it should land. And unfortunately, it does not. There is no grandeur, there is no adrenaline spike. It just looks choreographed. It looks highly choreographed. It does not look natural. I mean, yes, action is kind of choreography, but it shouldn't come off like that on screen. Here it does. Even the climactic action sequence, which is supposed to be like the big showdown between Kamal Hassan and STR, yeah, it's there. That's it. That's what I felt. Like, yeah, I'm watching an action set piece. So what? Not one moment made me clench at my armrest and, go at the screen like, yes, this is what is happening. This is what I want to watch. And this is exactly what I wanted to feel while watching this film. In a gangster drama, you expect drama because when it comes to a gangster film, there's a lot of interpersonal dynamics which are very complicated. You don't know who's your enemy, you don't know who's your friend becomes your enemy has become friend. Just so much to explore and none of it was done. And this is exactly what I was expecting from the film, that yes, action apart, I want to see the drama part of it, but it's all gunpowder and no spark. And the film is so freaking predictable. I could literally predict each and everything about this film before it happened. Like, I thought to myself, okay, this is how it's going. Maybe this particular event is going to happen now. Oh, this will betray this person. Everything was happening to the T. So when I say the film is predictable and the writing is predictable and the story is predictable, if there was an award for this category, it would go to this movie. Because if you go to watch this film and you're waiting for those iconic Mani Ratnam character beats, yeah, you will only keep waiting. Every relationship is undercooked. And I told you in my trailer reaction that I was especially looking forward to the father-son dynamics between Kamal Hassan and STR. I mean, they are supposed to have this complex equation, right? But there's no arc. They go from bonding to betrayal to bloodshed to hugging again with all that emotional weightage of a WhatsApp apology. This is hurting me on a personal level. Like, this is really piercing my heart while I'm recording this review, guys. It is giving me no joy to bash this film, honestly. But it is what it is. And can I talk about something which genuinely shocked me? The women in this film have zero agency. Zero. Trisha's role, for all I know, could have been played by a mannequin. Aishwarya Lakshmi, despite being good in her limited screen time, is severely underused. And Trisha deserves a better written character. This in a Mani Ratnam film where women always had agency, they had some character arc, they had some depth, they had a purpose, a voice, something. Here they are just furniture. Beautiful furniture, but still furniture. Now, Kamal Haasan sir. Look, I love the man, but even he couldn't salvage this. Remember Vikram? That film, the effortless swag, the action, the presence of the man. Yeah. I kept searching for that in this film, in this entire film. I couldn't find it. There is nothing in the script for him to elevate. At no point in the film I felt anything for this character. I was like, let me feel something for the guy. Let me hype him up. I was not able to. Anyway, the only thing that actually salvages the movie for me is STR. He looks invested. He is really trying in the film. But again, the script definitely lets him down. He makes his presence felt at least. But he's just one man with a bucket in a sinking ship, to be very honest. I'll also give credit where credit is due. The black and white sequence in the beginning, the flashback, that's pretty good. It was stunning, very atmospheric. The setup was great. Actually gave me hope when the movie started. For those whole 10 minutes, I was like, yes, this is what I came for. I am ready. And then nothing. It's like the entire film peaked in those first 10 minutes and then it completely forgot to continue that pace. And I honestly have nothing to say even about the music and the BGM. Nothing stood out for me. This movie is so plain, predictable and average that nothing stood out for me. The songs, Jingecha, yes, it was fun, but the songs are not there in the film. Even the Anjumana Puve song, that is there in bits and pieces, but yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't like this energy that I am giving out in giving a negative review. Here's my personal takeaway after watching this film. Because if this film had come with no hype, no legacy, no Kamal Haasan Mani Ratnam tag attached to it, I would have then said it's a meh one-time watch. But this was supposed to be iconic, guys. Right? Instead, it's aggressively average. It's not a bad movie. It's much worse. It's disappointingly ordinary. God, I feel personally hurt. I really feel personally hurt. So no, it won't make you forget Nayakan, but it might make you rewatch Nayakan immediately, just to remind yourself that what this combo was capable of doing. So yes, those are my immediate thoughts. I just came back and I sat for recording. I'll quickly edit and put this video out. But those are my immediate thoughts after watching this film. And like I said, it gives me no joy when I watch a film and actually I have to record a negative review. But if you loved the film, please let me know in the comments. I mean, I live for that energy. Why not spread some positivity in the comments at least? So maybe you can point at me and say that, yes, Ashmita, you shouldn't have had so many expectations. It's your fault. I don't know, maybe. But yes, that's all for this review. And I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you soon on my next one. Bye.